What a time to be alive. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James, the GOAT himself, and JJ Redick, one of the most notorious high school phenomenal players, man. I watched JJ Redick when he was in Duke, man. When he was shooting, as soon as he touched a ball, that boy. But if y'all know Duke, JJ Redick, y'all hit me down below in the comments of people who don't know. But they got a podcast together, and this is crazy. This is the first episode. I got my Sia. I don't know what y'all want to call it. A Sia bowl. We got, ooh, look at that crunch. We got blueberries, we got granola, and we got our protein chips. Let's get to the first episode. I couldn't wait for this to drop.
First of all, dude, I'm so excited to have this conversation. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I just wanted to, before we start, I want to make sure we're on the same page.
But it's crazy, bro.
Why we're doing this, right?
Thank you.
This dude dropping a podcast while he's still in the league,
like,
bro.
The
The GOAT. Like, you feel me? Like,
nothing
we
else
never
is.
had this like with
We're
Jordan, bro.
celebrating the game, right?
Full Kareem.
So I think overall, like, I want it to feel
Bro,
comfortable,
he changed the game
relaxed.
with this.
Yep.
I want it to strike a very positive tone.
Yep.
I typically rant about things. I'm gonna probably rant today. Like, it just
like
comes
this.
out
I
naturally,
like this.
like whatever.
Let's do it.
Man, too bad JJ Redick can never really play with LeBron, man. I love the way JJ Redick articulate his words, bro.
Welcome
Really
to
good.
Mind the Game with LeBron James and JJ Redick. This is a new podcast presented by Uninterrupted and 342 Productions. I want to be clear here. This is a basketball show. This
Okay.
is a show with the intention and purpose to celebrate the game, promote the game, explain the game. We will be covering
we get to
a
witness
number
the
of
show.
things,
Like,
not
this
just
is
the
beautiful.
NBA, men's
Like,
and women's, WNBA,
in our lifetime, we getting this.
FIBA.
Like, what? If
LeBron
people
and I
gravitate
are
toward
two
this, man.
people
If you love
who
basketball, you
call
not,
us
bro.
obsessed
You can hate the bro. You
with
still
the
gonna watch
game
this.
of basketball, with this sport that has given so much to us. And 2 weeks ago, we sat down in LA to record the first 2 episodes. The first episode actually asks a simple question: what makes a great basketball player? Beyond just talent and skill set. And we touch on a number of things that we think make a great basketball player. This is about creating separation. Once you get to the highest levels, everybody has talent.
Facts.
Everybody has
Facts.
skill. How do you separate yourself? One of the things we talk about is basketball intelligence. In some ways, it's a nod to the title of the show. And we posit the question, can you learn basketball intelligence? Can you learn and develop basketball IQ, or is it innate? And I would argue, of course you can. Of course
I
you
think
can
it's innate.
develop basketball intelligence.
It's just like ball
film
hoes.
study, through great
You know?
coaching, and of course, through the number one teacher, experience. And I think that's an important thing to note. I was fortunate to play 15 years in the NBA. It was a hard 15 years
It was,
of being a
JJ. I ain't
plumber,
gonna lie, man.
but I had a great experience.
I ain't gonna lie, it
learned
was,
so
JJ.
much
I had
about
a little
the
bit
game,
more
and I
high
had great
expectations,
coaches, and I
dog.
had great teammates.
Since that Duke,
LeBron,
JJ,
of
but you
course,
still
has
do your
played the
thing,
game
though, man.
at the highest level for 21 years. His experience is valuable. His basketball IQ is valuable. One thing to note, if you are listening to this podcast,
Yes, sir.
we also have a video podcast available on social and YouTube. And in those videos, we will be showing the exact basketball concepts that we are talking about. Episode 1 actually has a few different basketball concepts that we talk about. Episode 2 is a little more granular, a little more excellent.
We ain't gonna go.
But
go there,
episode
man.
1, we do talk about thumb down. What is thumb down? Thumb down is simply a high screen and roll, a high pick and roll. Thumb down angle, which LeBron references, is just when that pick and roll is angled to a side of the floor. So it's not in the center of the floor. It's either in that left high quad.
Look, I just dropping gems. I didn't know this. Bro, thumbs up means like a pick and roll middle of the floor, right? He said thumbs down is when it's not in the middle, it's on left or right, right?
Or that right high quadrant, closer to the sideline. So thumb down angle would simply be a ball handler with the ball a player in either corner, another player in the high quadrant opposite the ball, and then the screener. And again, these two guys can play pick and roll, and you play out of that.
Almost like a four
A
out.
lot of teams call high pick and roll something different. Not every team calls it thumb down. I know when I played for Stan Van Gundy and the Orlando Magic, we had thumb down, which was a high screen and roll with the 5-man, the center. We also had a screen and roll called thumb up, which was with the 4-man. LeBron, by the way, will reference X4 and X5. Some teams call the 4-man X4. Some teams just call him 4. Some teams call the 5-man X5. Some teams call the 5-man just 5. Horns chest is another play that we talk about. Horns chest is when 2 offensive players are in both corners, and then 2 offensive players are directly above the elbow or free throw line area at the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Creating almost like
I learned this from playing 2K.
And then the point guard
I used to horn
plays
cheese.
off of that. So the point guard can dribble off either side. The point guard can also throw the ball to one of the players at the horns, and they can get into screening action. This is horns, very simple. Ball handler, player in either corner, and then 2 players up here. A lot of times, this guy will be the 5-man, this guy will be the ball handler, and this guy will be the scorer or the shooter. Boston Celtics, by the way, when they run their horns action, a lot of times the 5-man is spaced to one of these corners, and they involve Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and either Drew Holiday or Derek White. Horns chest is a very simple play. So let's say this is LeBron, and this is D'Angelo right here, and this is the X5, this is the 5-man. D'Angelo would dribble off of a LeBron screen right here, and then the 5-man would then set a chest screen or a flare screen for LeBron to this side. And that's ultimately.
Bro, I used to run this similar play
Another play
in
we
2K,
talk about is floppy, which is a play
year
that I ran all the time.
2K16
I'm not
days,
actually
bro.
sure
I'm talking
why
about
it's called floppy.
cheesing my
I do know
ass
that
off.
the visual for floppy was this. So I think floppy means you can basically go to either side. Floppy is when a catch and shoot.
I learned all these
offensive
terminology right
player
here beside the thumbs
goes
down
underneath the basket
from 2K.
and there's 2 bigs, one on either side, that can screen for him, and he looks to come off of screens on either side and catch and shoot the ball. This is just a simple floppy action. So you have the 2 bigs. Let's say this
He's
is
just going
the 5-man,
underneath, and
this
the
is
people
4-man,
underneath the rim are
this
going
is
to
the point
go
guard,
see a double screen out
and
now.
then you have
And he's going to
the
go
2
right
rim
to the other
players
side,
underneath the
focus 3.
basket. And let's say the 2 is the shooter. He can come off either side for a catch and shoot.
Straight
he
from
could also
2K,
come
yo.
off the
That's
5-man,
crazy.
catch and shoot. And honestly, this is going to get a little discombobulated. I know when I played with Matt Barnes in Philly, we would just dance in circles in here, and then I'd shoot out one of these sides.
Man, Richard Hamilton. Oh,
When I
my
think about
God.
the game of
Like,
basketball,
but the Pistons used to
I
spam that on
regard
him,
it
man.
as so important. I care for it. I love it. I want to pay attention to it. I want to learn more about it. The game is constantly evolving. And hopefully, these discussions and conversations that LeBron and I have, sometimes with other basketball players and basketball people, hopefully we can do that. Hopefully we can teach and explain and celebrate. Hopefully we can mind the game.
Appreciate that knowledge right there, JJ. You know, man, hey, bro, everything you said was good, man. Forget that, man. It was good,
You
though.
bring.
Well, we're gonna start off. I brought
Go,
two
man!
bags. Champion
Let's go.
2012. I brought this.
Look at it go,
This is
man.
special. My first championship year. Very special to me. So
Yeah.
It's a good vintage in Burgundy.
very, very good vintage. And then a Lynch Bosch, 95. I just brought that. I just feel like that's a nice little aftershock. But I'm gonna open the 2012 Chambertin, and then we could just. That's okay.
Hey,
I
man,
swear,
you know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
think the
bro.
wine got it too. So
Well, I told you this. We were originally supposed to record this first sit down.
Hey, LeBron, you
in
blew
New
it up,
York.
huh?
So in anticipation of that, I actually brought 3 bottles of 89 Leroy
my
Clos de la
goodness.
Roche to the office, and obviously some things came up. We didn't make it work, so
that's a great sound, by the way. It's one
we
of
were
the best
both on the
sounds.
same page. We
Yes,
were both on the same
absolutely.
page,
Absolutely.
which I love. It's funny. I called your game Wednesday night against the Clippers. You had just an insane fourth
Top of the
quarter.
key.
And I was talking about, as it relates to you, competitive stamina, which is simply The ability to do something at a high level and then get up the next day.
Let me see how he pour that wine.
Simply,
He's an experienced wine drinker.
the ability to do something at
You gotta curve it up.
a high level
That curvage matter. You gotta put the elbow in that curve. He's experienced wine drinker.
and then get up the next day
Now,
and do it
JJ
again.
to see, you know, he got
And
he
for
got
you,
aired,
that's
he got aired out now.
happened season
He had
after
to sit.
season,
He
year
had
after
to sit.
year.
He got-
I think
got
the best
aerated.
players have a level of competitive stamina.
It's the reason why that
And
wine glass is
It's
formed like
one
that.
of 3 qualities for me that make a great basketball player. Because your quote after the game, it was, I know I was born with some gifts
Damn!
and athletic abilities, but that only gets you
I ain't
so
seen
far.
me aerated it.
What are the qualities for you
Oh no, he drink water.
that make a great basketball player? Beyond just talent and skill set and size.
Knowing the history of the game. Knowing the history of the game, knowing the ones that came before you, knowing the ones that paved the way, knowing the reason why you're actually having the ability to actually live out your dream. That doesn't happen without the people that came before you. It doesn't happen without Bill Russell, you know, going through what he went through during the civil rights movement and all those things.
bro,
Oscar Robertson
man.
going on with what he had to
on,
deal
y'all.
with.
I'll be back.
You know, during those times. It does not happen if they're able to just be pure in who they are. That allows us to now perform and do it with
Facts, man.
no care.
Them boys walk so y'all
Also,
can run,
I
man.
think discipline at people, you know what, people use that word so loosely.
What does it mean to you?
You have to have the ability, when it comes to discipline, it's like you have to sacrifice loved ones.
Hey, man. He ain't talking about no Illuminati. He ain't talking about no people like that, y'all. He talking about, you got like, I'm talking about nights when your friends going out in the party. Nights when, you know, like you feel like you don't, like, you just want to let loose, you know? But you still not, you ain't got no plan or direction. Right? But you focus on one thing only, and that's to be successful. Wherever field you going in, you don't even got a plan, but you just, bro, you walk in the staircase, bro, and you got like tunnel vision, bro. You feel me? People gonna try to bring up the party. People try to bring it down. Oh, you somebody new. Oh, you changed all right here. Man, you gotta be disciplined to yourself. That's what he's saying, bro. It can work for anything in life, honestly. I had to break that down, man. Cause a lot of people gonna say Illuminati. I know.
You have to sacrifice loved ones for a long period of time.
I did, bro.
It's
That
very
time when I was uploading
you feel it?
every single day, editing my own videos and live streaming, bro. Man, I had no connection with my family, y'all. Like when I was working a double job at Walmart, assistant manager, bro, doing all that, bro, I fell out with my family because I wasn't there at that point in time. But I knew long term, hey, if I pay these bills now, later we all can chill. Tell him, bro.
But at times, you
Feel that, bro.
You know the saying: if it's too hot, get the hell out of the kitchen. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta get out of the kitchen because it gets hot. But you have to have a discipline. Sometimes you have to sacrifice loved ones in order to be great because they don't understand.
They don't
And
understand.
that's okay.
They
They
won't
don't understand what it means to, like, I am getting up every single day at 5 or 6 a.m. And when I get home after everyone leaves the gym, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah.
So now you're sacrificing your loved ones because you're not spending time with them.
Yes.
And when I wake up, I'm probably gonna train again, and then I'm gonna have dinner, and then I'm going to bed. And I'm gonna do that every single day for a long period of time.
And bro, damn, bro, like, bro, I'm not on LeBron level, though, but I understand his vocabulary, bro. I understand word for word what he breaking down right there, bro. And a lot of people are not gonna understand it. They call them people lunatics, crazy. You know, like, oh, you kissing the manager's ass. Oh, you just different. And they don't understand until years later, bro, and they see you successful. And people looking up to you, and they like, wow, bro, I remember, bro, he never used to go out, bro. I mean, I used to always knock on his door. He stayed in, bro. He was weird. I thought he was weird, but look at him now. I'm telling y'all, bro. A lot of people not going to understand this, bro, especially this generation right here, bro.
That's
Don't party too
sacrifice
much, man.
and discipline. You know, and for me, I was 18
What you
when I
partying
came
for?
into the league. So I got my best friends from high school that's now in college.
What you celebrating?
I got one that's at Ohio State. I got 2 that's at the University of Akron. I have another one that's at a school in West Virginia, Fairmount State. And they're calling me, telling me, hey, bro, you gotta come down to these parties.
Oh my God, bro! Did I'm telling y'all this? I'm just talking about breaking it down, bro!
Not going to college, you're never gonna be in college. And
Can't go? Can't go?
Couldn't do it.
Can't do it. Because tomorrow I'm going to skip my workout.
I look back on it now, I
Yeah.
wish I would have done a few of them, I'm not gonna lie.
If I go miss that jump shot, I'm
not
going to
gonna
think,
lie,
you know
I
what,
wish
if
I
I went out
did.
partying, wait, you know what? I would have practiced, I would have made that jump
third
shot.
thing,
Feel me,
JJ,
bro? That's discipline, bro.
Do you really love the game? Like, do you really love the game? And I'm not just talking about like wins and losses. Do you really love the process of the game and everything that happens before?
Are you willing to die for it? Is what he's saying.
The referee does like this. That's the easy part. You know this. You know this. You was one of the first ones in the gym, one of the last ones to leave. Everyone sees when the cameras are rolling and the 20,000 fans are there and the cheerleaders are dancing and the popcorn is popping and the celebrities are sitting in celebrity row. But like, who has the love for the game when nobody is there? You know?
I love all of that. And it's interesting, the love of the game part is so funny to me because I think there's a distinction between loving the game, i.e. the game, the actual competition itself, and what it means to actually love the game.
It sounds
Everything
heavy as
that goes
hell,
into
don't
that.
it?
You hear guys all the time, I just want to play.
Straight
I just
alpha.
wanna play. Okay. Do you
Straight
want to
in,
do
man,
all the
just
things that are
Dang,
necessary
deep as hell, man.
that lead up to playing the actual game?
The guys that say, I just want to play, their career won't be long.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to put in all the intricate parts of to get to that point. It's not going to last that long. It's not going to last that long. You won't have a long, sustainable career, and that's okay. Some guys, I mean, you've been in a locker room. Some guys don't really care about playing a long time in this league or having a sustain. So sometimes I look in like some of the all-star locker rooms I've been in.
Is that AP? Is that
And you
blue
see a
AP
guy
or
1 year,
Rizzo?
you see a guy maybe 2 years,
Richard
and then
Mille.
he's not in the locker room anymore after that. And you just like wonder to yourself why. You know, you don't know. You don't know if it's the max contract that he got after he made the all-star team. You don't know
Woo! Getting spicy, man.
if now they know him by one name for one summer. You know, you just don't know. But it's like if you want to be great and want to be like legendary, or not even, I don't want to even say that. If you want to maximize everything that you have with your career and your ability, then squeeze the fuck out of that lemon.
Yeah.
Why not?
Facts, man.
I want to talk about
Facts.
each of those three things.
Dang, LeBron, I ain't know you
a little
so
in depth because I also have three things. But the history of the game
physiological
part's
like that, man. I
interesting,
ain't
because
know
you brought
you
up
can
Oscar Robertson.
articulate yourself that
And
way.
whether
you know?
the casual fan knows this or not, Oscar Robertson sued in
Kobe
1970
was great at talking,
for
bro.
free agency. And that court case
I
took
let him
6
talk all day.
years. So the NBA really didn't have any form of free agency until 1976. Side note, in 1977, at the time in free agency, you had to compensate the team that was losing the player. So Gail Goodrich left the Los Angeles Lakers and went to the Jazz. The Jazz compensated the Lakers with some future draft picks. One of those picks turned out to be Magic Johnson.
Be Magic.
Pretty interesting. You talked about the discipline. It's pretty interesting.
That's pretty cool though. It's like soccer now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like soccer. You got to
In some ways,
compensate the club in order.
There wasn't real unrestricted free agency. John Concac was the first guy, and that was like 1987.
Right.
It just didn't exist.
Right,
So, like,
right.
The reason, I didn't make as much money as you, but the reason I got to make a lot of money in the NBA is like it's a direct line to Oscar Robertson.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so let's
Wow.
celebrate that, right? You talked about the sacrificing loved ones. I always felt like my pursuit was so selfish.
Yeah.
And I would acknowledge that to my wife, my kids, whatever, my friends.
Yeah.
It was so selfish, but
Yeah.
it was like the only way that I knew how to do it. It was the only way.
That's it.
So you touched on those things. My 3 things are competitive stamina, which I'm going to get to in a second. The love of the game is one of mine, for sure. Caring more about your craft instead of the other stuff that doesn't matter is a direct quote from you.
For sure.
And then the third one, I think, is basketball IQ.
Yeah.
Basketball IQ. I have described Nikola Jokic, I've described you as having supercomputers. Like your processing speed is a little different. I put James Harden in that category. I put Luka in that category.
Yeah.
There's a number of guys that have like a different processing speed.
Rondo.
Some of this stuff, love of the game, that's a little bit of just desire, attitude, all that stuff. Competitive stamina, same thing.
Yep.
Can you develop basketball
Damn,
IQ
bro, you
at the
hitting
highest
water,
level?
bro. You not even drinking
Can
the
you get a
wine.
little smarter as a player? Can you develop it as a
You know what's
at the
funny?
highest level?
When you brought up basketball IQ, the first thing that came to my mind, I started thinking right away. I was like, are you born with basketball IQ, or are you taught the game the right way, and now the basketball IQ clicks on? Like I was literally just when you was explaining that, because I come from, I believe, great coaching. You know, from my Little League coach, Frank Walker, senior, to my, at the time, AAU coach, Coach Drew Joyce, to my high school coach, who was a former college coach, Coach Danbrot, and then
Shout
my
out to the
AAU
coach,
coach took
man.
over when Coach Danbrot went back to college basketball. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I was taught.
1 second. All right, y'all, we back. No interruptions. Where I had to change like 2 diapers, man. Let's get to it.
The game the right way. But the one thing that those coaches always told me, they told me that I had an uncanny ability to process information faster than anyone they've ever seen. One coach, and this is, I know you're gonna smirk about this.
I bet you.
There's guys in the NBA that if you call a play or a coach draw a play to one side of the floor, they can't switch it in their head and do it and say, let's run it to the other side without the coach drawing on the clipboard.
Yeah.
I've never understood that. And I don't know.
What?
I never understood that. So if I say we running thumb down angle, we're
Thumb
running on
down
the right
angle.
side.
Right side.
So because I have a left-hand point guard, he wants
so
to
then
come
we do
middle to a
thumb hand,
strong
left
hand. He has the
side, we
ability to
just
take the
switch.
pocket pass with the left hand, has the ability to throw ahead, he's lefty, and also has the ability to throw back on the shake.
Are y'all hearing this greatness? Are we
He
hearing
has the
this?
ability to throw ahead, he's lefty, and also has the ability to throw back on the shake. But if I say, hey, we run a thumb down angle on the left side, because now the right-hand guard coming right, I've had teammates that's like, oh, what do you mean? Coaches always, in practice, we only ran it from this side.
LeBron, you giving too much game right here, bro. It's too much game.
I could flip a play when I was 8 years old. No matter if it was just pass and cut, no matter if it was, let's run flex, but let's start on the left side. No matter if it was just, let's DHO, driving kick,
So
the last
flex
one.
mean open,
All right,
but
now let's
flare
just
mean
drive the
three is shooting.
baseline
But
drive,
flex
drift.
mean baseline or
The
layup.
guard, if the forward on the left side is looking at the ball, you can slot cut. I could do that. I was doing that stuff when I was like 8, 9 years old, and my coaches would just be blown away, and I wouldn't know where it came from. I have no idea. So to get back to your question, I think I was born with a sports IQ, and it could have been any sport, but I just think basketball was the one that I chose, and maybe I was chosen to do that as well.
Go talk! It didn't choose. No. Sorry. I didn't choose to be great. Greatness chose me. I woke up like this, basically what he's telling y'all, man, in the terminology, right?
Yeah, and I just took it to a
woke up
whole,
like
as I
this.
got
I can't
older, and
help
your
it.
mind gets, you start to live it. You start to want to be a part of it. You start watching. I started watching the games, when I was like 9, 10 years old. When I first started, I was watching just a fan. I was just a fan of Michael Jordan and Anthony Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill and, those guys. I was just a fan.
Yeah.
But then when I started playing the game, I actually started like studying what those guys were doing out on the floor and what teams were doing, how teams were guarding, how coaches were coaching, subbing patterns, time of possession.
Oh, man, you'll hold it.
One thing that kills me, JJ,
I ain't thinking about that, man.
I'm gonna tell you what kills me.
Tell me what kills you.
JJ over there blushing.
The 2-for-1.
Hey,
shot
JJ, hey, he cheeks red
in
as
the
hell.
quarters.
Are you going on an anti-crusade against the 2-for-1?
I understand why the 2-for-1 is important. Obviously, it's numbers. You get 2 possessions, the other team gets 1 possession.
In theory, it's a free shot.
In theory, it's a free shot. But what people sometimes don't account for, the 4 or 5 possessions before that. Are we on a run? Are we on a heater? Have we gotten a good shot over the last 2.5 minutes? What is the other team doing? How are they in a great rhythm? If we haven't gotten a great shot in 2.5, 3 minutes and we've been turning the ball over, why am I just gonna dribble down and shoot a 40-footer with 33 on the clock? Why not get a great look? Because that great look at the end of the third, even if we get 1 shot, may give us momentum going into the 4th quarter.
Man. See
Right.
how
It's interesting because I think it does
for that
fuck with the
momentum,
flow.
bro.
And as a player, I felt that. As a broadcaster now, where I'm calling games, you have such a
As a bronzexual, JJ. It's all good, man. It's okay to be on the side. Draymond already over here. It's okay.
good feel as like an outside observer
Yeah.
of this action happening. So, end of the second quarter, you're going into halftime with the lead. You've established, let's say, a pick and roll partnership where you're getting a good shot every time down the floor. On the other end, you're getting stops. You're getting stops. So the other team's having, you're right. Why are you going to just jack up a 35-footer? Just go to the pick and roll, rely on your defense. Now, boom, you go into the half with essentially the same momentum you would have if you get the 2-for-1.
Yeah.
By the way, you shouted out your coaches. I want to say this because I think some of it is innate with basketball IQ.
Yeah.
Some of it is the way you're taught.
Uh-huh.
Some of it is going back to your point about discipline, the dedication to the craft. I gotta shout out my coaches now, because Delmar Irving, Keith Haynes, Dick Wall, my early coaches for the Roanoke Jaguars.
Yeah.
They taught me how to play. They taught me how to play with toughness. I get to JV, 8th grade, Chris Morris, Billy Hicks. Then I go to Coach K at Duke.
Yeah.
So by the time I got to the NBA, I knew how to process and think the game. It wasn't new to me. It wasn't new to me to think the game.
You also knew it was bullshit and what was not bullshit.
Yes.
There's a lot of bullshit that gets taught in our league because our league has been feast off potential. Guys with potential. They come in and say, this guy has potential. We have to, if it's not year 1, maybe year 2, or not year 3, or maybe year 4, or we're gonna pick up his option in year 4. Like, it's been grasped on potential. Like that has been, that's the whole thing of the lottery.
LeBron, hey, I'm sorry, they looking for the next LeBron. I mean, dog, after you go, bro, there's no really generational players after you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jordan, Kobe, and you, like, if the torch has been passed, like, bro, we don't trust none of these people really. I mean, we got to put somebody in place after you go, bro. Got to. I don't know, it could be Luka, Giannis, Jokic. I don't know. It's just, it's not concrete sealed, you know? So, hey, man, don't really be too salty about them boys looking for potential. Everybody trying to find them of you. It just, you don't see it because you look in the mirror, you see you.
The whole thing of the lottery, pick 1 through 13 or 14, I don't even know what it is now when it cuts off like you've been a lottery pick. But it makes sense why those guys that's like 16 to 30, 16 to 42, why those guys be on real contending teams making impacts.
Also, why is it the same teams that always draft well? And the same teams that always draft poorly?
I'll tell you when I get my team, the teams that draft well, those guys.
Yeah, sit that wine, bro. Yeah!
Offer him a bag.
He's staying on business with that.
OKC does an unbelievable job with that.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact. I was thinking about, you know this, so by
everyone that baby. We can.
Just you can.
Let's wind this back.
The teams that draft well, those guys will be working for me for sure.
Just you can offer him a bag.
Yeah, for sure.
You got it.
AKA subliminal shots at Jordan. Sip my wine.
OKC does an unbelievable job.
Could be.
with
Could
that.
not.
fact.
I don't
It's a
know,
fact.
You know, but
I was thinking
he
about.
basically said he ain't going out
you
like
know
that.
this. So by like the end of my first year with the Clippers,
Mm-hmm.
we realized all of my catch and shoot stuff. I wanted to come over left shoulder.
Yes, sir.
Right. I wanted to come to my right.
Yes, sir.
And so for the next 3 years, every single time we drew up a play was to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I got to like Philly, to your point about like guys not understanding this, I got to like Philly and New Orleans, the coaches would draw up a play in the huddle, and I'd be like, no, I want to come over my left shoulder. Just flip it.
Yeah, just
and
flip
I'd
it.
walk out on the court, and then my teammates would be like, oh, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, no, just flip it. Which guys, by the way, the processing speed, I mentioned a few guys.
Yeah.
Guys you played with, guys you played against.
Yeah.
Rondo and
that you
watch.
think
I know
have
Rondo.
That sort
Watch,
of
watch.
high-level basketball IQ.
Rajon Rondo,
Told
for
you.
sure.
Told
He
you.
has. He can process, flip,
Impeccable.
do things on the go. Like, it's very weird to me that he's not coaching at a high level. I think it's
That's
because
why I
he
think,
doesn't-
man, when you see this boy get arrested a couple days ago, weeks ago, man, I'm like, man, why Rondo is not coaching, bro? That's my first thought was.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. And who wants to deal with all these rich, entitled guys all the time?
You guys make too much money now.
It's just a weird thing.
You
man.
guys make too much
It's
money now.
just a weird
Let's
thing.
get a cheers, man.
Let's get a cheers, man. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for the wine, by
It
the way.
smells amazing, too.
We gotta go back in that
The wine, by the way. You guys make too much
It's
money now.
just a weird
Let's
thing.
get a cheers, man.
Let's get a cheers, man.
JJ, when you cheers, you gotta make eye contact, man. I know LeBron alpha and everything. I know that aura just over there, but you gotta stick that one out, bro. This is just as important as a handshake, bro. I'm just telling you. You know, damn, bro. Damn. I mean, LeBron came with that handshake, bro. You know, I dapped up. You know, I had to straighten up. Got the handshake right, man. You got 10 number here, man, in this right here.
Cheers.
You can't look down. Cheers. LeBron looking right in his eye. I'm telling y'all, bro. Put
Cheers.
out the
Thank
game
you
right
for
there,
the wine,
man.
by
It
the way.
smells amazing, too.
Going back
Drake
to that
even rapped
competitive
about
stamina
that.
thing, because I was calling the game, and I knew this because I played in LA, but Clippers home games against the Lakers is not really a home game. Half the crowd are Clippers fans, half the crowd are Lakers fans. And so the arena felt very subdued, you know, because you guys were getting your ass kicked.
Getting our
And
ass kicked.
the body language was bad. I think I even mentioned that on air. Like, you just saw it in the huddles. You saw it coming out of timeouts, going into timeouts. You saw it when guys were getting subbed out.
Yeah.
Like, it was just bad body language. And then, as Darvin Ham said, you decided to put your cape on and lead this comeback. You outscored the Clippers by yourself in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was amazing. He shot
In
so
that
many-
moment,
LeBron was
where
in
you're
the
down
flow,
19
bro. He
in
was
the
just in the
fourth.
moment, bro.
It's a dead game. You know your team is, I call it like letting go of the rope. You know, Doc Rivers used to always say that. Don't let go of the rope.
Yep.
What goes through your mind?
You probably got a few minutes to try to change it, or you're gonna get pulled. Knowing it's a back-to-back, knowing that we lose to the Clippers, we got our ass kicked, but we can't then the very next night lose to Washington as well. So I go out there down 19, you know, with the lineup. I believe at the start of the fourth lineup it was myself, D'Lo, Jackson Hayes, Torian Prince, Cam Reddish. So, you know, coach drew up a play. First play, I believe he drove up Horn's chest, and they fucked up. They fucked up on the Horn's chest. So we ran it again. And that's another thing that bothers me about the NBA too. Why do we not continue? Just run the same thing over and over until they stop.
That's what I do. Bro, that's what I do on 2K. That's why I used to beat people all the time. They used to get mad at comments. Can't really see you play your cheeses. Negro, I'm winning. Stop it. Did I stop? I'm like, what?
Guys would run a play one time, then you were scoring, then they'd change the play. But anyways, we ran it again, and they fucked it up
did.
again.
Well like water.
So, I mean, for me,
Shooter.
if I see 2 threes go down, I'm going to check and see if it's a heater in this right elbow for sure. And I hit another one. And at this
The
point,
heat was on, baby.
now I'm feeling really good. I got a nice bounce in my step. We're getting stops, and you know, I take one down the right wing, and PJ's picking me up in transition, and I rarely shoot the ball on the run.
Woo!
You know,
Wet
especially if it goes to
like
my right
water!
hand, I shoot it. But I had a bounce and I had a feeling. I felt like I said, if I can make this one go, I know. This is when like NBA Jam, you're on fire. You know, if this one goes,
You in the moment, bro. You in the
and I let
flow,
that one
bro.
go from the right wing by their bench. It's
You're
like
not
I'm
thinking no
almost
more,
bumped
bro.
into
You just
they
flowing.
call timeout. That's when I knew that the momentum can change. You know, the momentum can change, and once the ball, the snowball gets going down that hill, you know,
That
snowball
sidestep
turns into
beautiful.
an avalanche. The avalanche just turns into it's over with. You know, so I just felt good at that moment.
It's a few things there. So, like with the 3-ball, we've seen it so often now. No lead is really safe.
No.
Think back to early in your career. I came in the league in 06, 07. I played no minutes my first 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
But
that,
you know
bro.
what? If we had a 19-point lead going into the fourth, I might get all 12 minutes of
I'd
garbage
be
time.
upset, bro.
sure.
I'm like, man, play
People would
JJ,
clear their
man.
benches.
Yeah, for
This was
sure.
15 years
Yeah,
ago.
for sure.
People would clear their benches with a
sure.
17-point lead in the
Yeah.
fourth and 9 minutes to
Yeah,
go.
for sure.
You can't do that anymore.
You can't do that anymore. You know why?
Golden State
Because
Warriors.
I believe in 08, 09, or whenever
Yo,
that
tell it, Golden State
little
Warriors
light-skinned
changed that, bro.
fucker came in the
Bro, them
league.
boy used to
That's
listen.
in Golden State.
Yep, hey, I'm telling you. And, bro, back there, I'm telling y'all. Man, with Golden State Warriors, they could be down by 22 points. Curry, Clay, man, they'll cut that thing down within I'm talking about within 4 minutes, man. It's
He
unbelievable.
changed that whole narrative. He did. He single-handedly changed the no lead is safe. It's like Pat Mahomes right now.
It's interesting you bring up Steph because
He did.
I think there's
Me and
Love
bro,
that
bro.
guy.
a
just
long
thinking, like,
history
I'm telling y'all.
of
Steph.
great players that have impacted the game. And you can see a lineage between different skill sets, right? Michael to Kobe,
Yep.
right? You can see that.
Yep.
I don't know that there's been a player that has influenced the game more than Steph. And you can certainly point to like Harden for
Yeah.
sure in that era, Damian Lillard for sure, but
I said
you're
this
right,
is
it started with Steph.
top
When
25
it comes
list.
to influence, since I've been watching
Curry
the
got the
game,
most influence I ever seen.
since I've been watching the game, the most influence on the game.
Curry.
And obviously, we know what Mike did for the game.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Curry.
Steph and Allen Iverson are the two biggest influential guys in our game since I've been watching and covering it. You know, one, they're 6'3", 6'4", if you want to.
Steph's not 6'4".
If you want to look on the back of a basketball card, you know, you're always a lot taller on the back of the basketball card. You know, Allen Iverson and Steph, they were just so relatable, and kids felt like they could be them. They were guys that was not always counted on. They were small in stature, and they just defined the odds. So you got AI, who's like unbelievable crossover, cornrows, arm sleeve. We wear arm sleeve. Everyone wears an arm sleeve now because of Allen Iverson.
Tats.
And he's going in the trenches, you know, laying it up over bigs, whatever the case may be. And now you have Steph, who's shooting over the Empire State Building. You know, it's like those two are the two most influential when you say the game, how they changed the game, and the kids, and like, those are two guys that you just wanted to watch every single night.
Facts.
I have a.
And
I
this
have
coming
an
from a
arm
person
sleeve.
who's a hate Curry, bro.
Like,
Because he was a strong
no
competitor versus
bullshit.
LeBron,
Listen,
man.
No bullshit.
One of my tattoos.
love
is
to
because
watch
of
him,
Allen
though.
Iverson, for
Like
sure.
and Steph, I think he
Great.
changed, like the influence with Steph, I think is like he fundamentally changed how we viewed how the game should be played with the 3-point shot. Do you think, because part of the Steph thing and this 3-point revolution for a fan is that we have now simplified the NBA. All right, we're just going to shoot a bunch of threes.
Yeah.
My question to you, going back to that basketball intelligence piece, does the game require more basketball intelligence now, or does it require less than when you first started?
Ooh, good question.
From
Good question. Dang.
you can't ask me that because I'm always side on basketball IQ.
Yeah.
Always. I think throughout the regular season, you can get away with a low IQ team if you're talented. You can get away with it in the first round. and maybe get away with it in the second round. But when you get to the conference finals and you get to the finals, obviously the top 4 teams in the conference finals, they have players, unless a team just happened to hit a heater and they just get lucky. But the top 4 teams normally are going to be the teams with the best players, 4 of the best coaches. And what's going to separate them is now the basketball IQ kicks in. Because there's moments in the game that a coach cannot prepare you for, film can't prepare you for, the history of the game can't prepare you for, where you have to have a basketball IQ to make adjustments right away. And if you don't have that level of mind frame or capacity, then a team like Denver, who has one of the greatest IQ guys that we've ever seen in Jokic, Golden State, Draymond, Steph, any one of my teams, if I played you in the finals, myself, and when I won it in 20, it was myself and Rondo on the floor. So I think that those things help. I believe that when Golden State beat Boston, it came down to IQ in the finals. Because Boston, to me, had the better talent.
Bro, man, people are bro, this is crazy, bro. Because people before the playoffs, they kept saying, like, Boston. And they had a better IQ, bro. And it wasn't about the talent.
They had the better talent. But it came down to IQ. People say experience, IQ.
I made this comment the other day about Tatum. It feels like with him, the reads are quicker, making the right play, it's just quicker. He doesn't fight the game as much. I did the details thing for ESPN during that finals, and I did Clay was the first episode, Steph was the second episode, Tatum was the third. And so I had all these Tatum clips I got to go through and break down. I never watched the episode. It's behind a paywall. But what I saw was on the isolations on the wing. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times would be in the slot, the high quadrant, right? And they've given him space. They would bring that low man over early. Sometimes it was Draymond, but not always. Sometimes it was Clay. And very rarely did he end up getting the Golden State Warriors into rotation. Now it feels like he's just making the play off the ball. Now, it did happen a couple times in that finals. But it wasn't as quick. It was off the ball.
I tell who ain't gonna pass.
Now, it did happen a couple.
Jaylen Brown's not passing for sure.
Times in that finals. But it wasn't as quick. And it was rare. And obviously, with their personnel, like it's different now with Porzingis, but I think that's part of like the growth. So
that's part of the
even
growth.
Going back to like the question about can you teach basketball IQ? In some ways, it's innate. But in some ways, if you're studying it and doing it, you can see the growth in a player. Yeah,
because there's a great saying that says the best teacher in life is experience.
Facts.
As well. And we look at Tate. He's 25 years old. He's 25 years old, and I believe he's been to the conference finals 4 times. Been to obviously the NBA finals once. He's 25. I didn't win my first one until I was 28.
Dang! And you put in the scale like that. Dang!
I think Joker won his first one at 27. I think MJ was 28 as well.
Kobe without Shaq was around the same age.
Yeah, so
Steph was.
I think we have we have a lot of expectations on JT, but he's experienced a lot of winning in his career so far. And obviously, we everyone wants to see him get over the hump, but 4 conference finals in a finals appearance before the age of 26 that's elite. And like you just said, he's continued to grow, and they are in a position where they can make another title run. And like you said, personnel helps. Adam Porzingis and getting Drew for a bag of Lay's potato chips, that helps as well. that helps as well. But JT is definitely When you go and you start scouting for Boston, he's the number one guy for sure.
Basketball IQ to me, when you were earlier than me, when I first got in the NBA though, what that meant to me in some ways was being able to remember a play. Honestly, as simple as that. Being able to recognize patterns.
Yep.
You come out of an ATO, okay.
Oh my God.
There's a misdirection here. I know there's going to be a pin down coming, right? It's just that's pattern recognition.
Yep.
Offensively, defensively, it's just making the right read.
Yep, making the right read.
Knowing the game plan, like all that. That's basketball IQ. I think what's interesting about today's NBA is what smart coaches do and what smart players do, which did not happen when I first got to the NBA.
What smart coaches do.
Nearly every possession, all you're doing is trying to find the right matchup.
A target.
You're playing chess on the possession.
It's target basketball. Yeah.
And that to me is the biggest difference.
Yeah, that never happened.
Bro, I was watching a game. I was calling a game actually. Guy had the ball, good offensive player, had the ball at the top of the key, and they're playing the Clippers, and end of the shot clock, 7 on the clock. Another guy off the ball is being guarded by Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes up to set a pick and roll for the guy with the ball.
And it makes no sense.
And I'm like, that's just low basketball IQ.
That's just low basketball IQ.
Keep Kawhi away from the ball.
That is low basketball IQ. That is low basketball IQ. That doesn't make any sense. And that happens a lot in our. And I'm going to go back to when you first started. You said remembering a play. How many guys fuck up a play out of timeout? Burns me alive. It burns me alive that a coach can sit there and guys, all 5 guys, 10 eyes, are looking at the play and they come out of timeout and fuck it up. Bothers me so bad. But yeah, like you said, you knew, like when you played, you had 2 reads. I'm coming off left, right, and if the big is not up, I'm shooting that bitch.
Splat! Wait!
And if the big is up, I'm pocket passing.
Yeah.
What else are we talking about?
Well, the one other thing.
What are we talking about? That was my job.
Right.
And I did it well.
And you get the start off the passer.
So like when I played in Philly, they would do that off Ben, and then I would just kick to Ben, and he's got a head of steam going down the lane.
Well, I mean, and when Ben
you got to read the nail guy too.
You got to read the nail guy.
I don't kind of like underestimate.
Well, that's not. Well, that's not. Well, yes, I agree. I agree. I was more thinking with the Clippers. I was thinking more with the Clippers. A pocket to.
It's so weird though because even like the coverage on catch and shoot stuff, and there's not a ton of catch and shoot guys right anymore. Where like you're not running floppy. There's happen a lot.
Facts.
Like when I first started running it, or like Ray in Boston.
Yeah.
When you're running that, you would always stun up with the big.
With the big.
And the pocket pass was always there.
Always there.
Once teams started playing more drop coverage, they just kept the big back and catch and shoot.
Right.
And so a lot of times that help would actually come off the passer. So if they knew we were in a catch and shoot play, kick to me, the help comes off the passer. Then it's I got to make that read back to the top.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because now offense is so more extended now. You know, the big could be the guy that can help up a little bit because, if you look at like Rip Hamilton, at the time he wasn't coming off their floppy down action going to the 3-point line. He was coming off more elbow action, so you can kind of, contact help with the big, and then.
Didn't I just say Richard Hamilton, bro? About the guy, and stupid guy, you were casual. Didn't at the beginning when JJ, the first 5 minutes of it, when we talking LeBron, he talked about how with the flare play, and I said Richard Hamilton ran that thing over and over, man. But it wasn't a 3-point line; it was a mid-range with the Pistons. Come on, man! Come on, y'all!
We
come on!
There was a point guard in the
I'm
front.
the casual.
There was another forward at the free throw line, and then it was 2 bigs. So even if you did get extended a little bit when you made the pocket pass, at least the other big X4, X5 could come over and help. Now, in Boston's case, it's 5 guys on the perimeter at one time.
Nobody's in the paint.
Nobody's in the paint. You have Drew, Jayson, Brown, Porzingis could be at the top. He could be, you got Derek White. They're all over the place. So, the level of where you help from has changed a lot because the bigs in basketball history have been programmed to help no matter where they are, and that's where the IQ comes in too. You got certain bigs that if I just drive this slot, and they say, don't help strong side shooter in the corner. That is the easiest three. You just know that there's certain bigs that he's going to leave no matter what because he's been
Man, beautiful episode. Oh my gosh, bro. I felt this in my soul, y'all. Talking to me. Y'all want to next episode, I'm gonna get some wine just like they got right here. And we're gonna sip when they take a sip, bro. How about that? Hope y'all enjoyed the video. We out here, man. This is amazing. Peace.